Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how I made some beautiful home decor using thrifted items, my craft stash, and a little bit of trash. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to try and Frankenstein this project together. I am using a springform pan that I got from the thrift store, a tin from Dollar Tree, bits of hardware from my stash, an empty wax can, and some wood rounds. And my first step is going to be to just get some of these glued together, let them dry before I can move on and get the whole thing glued together. So if you're seeing this video now, it means I got it to work. Otherwise, I would just delete the whole thing. I started by gluing the smaller wood round to the top of the wax can. I used the wood round instead of just leaving the lid on because I'm going to use screws to attach the springform pan to the tin can, and I think it will be easier to attach it to the wood. I used E6000 to attach it and then glued the can to the larger wood round. I then set this aside to dry. Next, I drilled 2 holes in the bottom of the small tin. I then used glue and 2 small screws to attach the tie down to the can. I also glued the ring so it would stand straight up. I then set that aside to dry. Next, I opened the pan and added glue where the pan overlaps onto itself and then closed it again to let the glue dry. After the glue was dry, I removed most of the hardware from the pan. I left the pieces that were riveted to the pan because they would be covered by the smaller tin. Next, I drilled 2 holes in the bottom of the pan and added some glue and 2 screws to attach it to the wood round. Because of the lip, see if you can't see this. Because of the lip on this, I've got 2 pieces of popsicle stick that I'm going to glue on this side so that it sits level when I put it on here. As I said, I added 2 pieces of a popsicle stick so the pan would sit level on the wood. Next, I used more E6000 and glued the small tin onto the top of the pan, covering where the pan hardware was. Okay, it's not looking like much at the moment, but I'm going to add some clay pieces on all these areas around the sides, and to hide where everything is glued together to make it look a better transition. And I'm going to put a piece of wood in here too, but I'm going to wait for all this to dry first. I then glued a small wood slice to the inside bottom to act as a spacer, and then glued a bigger wood round over top of that. When the glue was dry, I started adding my clay elements. You could add as much or as little of this as you want. I wanted mine to be pretty decorative, so I may have gone a bit overboard. Like I said, it's all personal preference. Okay, what I've done so far, I added some clay elements, mostly around all the areas where one piece is glued to the next, to kind of, you know, dress it up a little bit, help camouflage it a bit. And I put the bead detail around the ring of this pan because, you know, on a springform pan, the top and the bottom isn't exactly the same. So because the bottom has this channel in it, I used some clay to fill that in, and then added some more onto the other side to kind of match, you know, kind of to help blend the two sides together. But, you know, there's definitely a difference between the front and the back as far as, you know, the overall look. And the bottom piece of wood, you know, I was using you know, all the pieces that I had. You know, I wish this one was just a little bit smaller. It's just a slightly too big than I would like. So I may do something on this extra area or not. I don't know. I might just paint it and see how that looks. And if it just looks like it sticks out too much, I'll try and do something with that. The only thing left that I have to do is I am going to add some clay pieces to help hide where I glued and screwed on this, it's a tie down is what it is. It's a metal piece that you use to clip, you know, something onto. So I am going to go through all my molds, see what I have that will work to help camouflage that a bit. And I may bring the design down the side a little bit. I don't know. It's It's all going to depend on how it looks, but that's where I'm at so far. I finished adding all the clay elements and then set it aside to dry. Okay, this is what I ended up with. I know it seems like a lot of clay. I used about 1/3 of a package of the DOS clay. So, you know, you don't have to take it this far. You don't have to put all the clay elements on it. But I like adding the clay, so I'm just gonna let that dry, give it a paint job, and then take it from there. Next, I gave it 2 coats of paint. To finish it, I used gold wax to highlight the clay and added a Dollar Tree bubble vase to the center. Okay, for this project, I've got another candle base that's missing. I'm going to assume it was a glass candle holder that goes in there. And when my daughter and I were at the antique mall, she spotted this and said, you should get that and make something out of it. So I'm going to just glue that inside of there. Super easy. I liked the patina on this one, so I didn't do anything to it. Easy peasy. For my final project, I'm using 2 canvas pictures from Dollar Tree. I started by giving them a coat of paint. Next, I decoupaged a picture onto the center of each canvas and let that dry. I then used more molds and air dry clay and framed the edges of the image and set it aside to dry as well. After the clay was dry, I painted it black. I then used a Crackle finish over the image and let that dry. Again, this is a personal preference. You don't have to do this. Next, I used antiquing wax over the entire thing to seal the paint and highlight the Crackle. What I did to the underside of these, I glued a piece of cardboard to the bottom backside of this canvas to help stiffen it up. And then that way you don't have as much flex going on. To finish it, I framed it using some wood scraps. I hope you enjoyed these projects. I also want to say thank you to everyone that has watched my videos and subscribed. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.